Welcome to the Verdin Sports Show. I'm your host, Jacob Verdin. Today I'm joined by Sage Ryan. Glad to have him in the studio. Gonna get to know a little bit more about him. Get to have a good little conversation with him. Sage, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks for coming in. First things first, bro. Let's get to know about you as an athlete. Get to know about your story, your journey. Football, what got you into it? What got you into the sport? You played any other sports in high school? And what about that journey?
So, I started football when I, about 7, 8 years old. With Brown Park out of Lafayette, Louisiana, like a little city rec league. I started tackle right away, so I was, I always loved to hit people and run by people, so kind of part of my nature. But it's been a real good journey, like with my football career, from middle school to high school. Middle school, I really wasn't like serious about it, but then when high school kind of got serious about it, started putting in extra work, extra film, starting to learn the game, and then in high school we won like 4 state championships, so we was on the road 4 in a row. And then in college, it wasn't all peaches and cream. College was actually tough. It was a tough situation that we had from coaching changes, and just life was tough. I had to learn how to be a man, actually, and it starts with like either folding your clothes, folding my own clothes, washing dishes. Cause my mom did all that when I was in high school, so I kind of had to learn how to do things on my own when I got to college, and it was a different scenery. Baton Rouge was new, so it was a tough grind that I had to learn how to do, and I'm still growing each and every day. So it was a tough experience, but now that I'm learning how to do things each and every day like a pro, being on time, just learning the ins and outs about life on and off the field.
So you mentioned in high school starting to take football more seriously, starting to see the path to the collegiate level. Was there any mentors or any coaches, any inspirations along the way that helped guide you toward that path? Was it kind of self-guided, or what? How did you get to that point where you're like, all right, LSU's the school for me?
So my family was 100% involved. They diehard LSU fans. Few of my family members came to LSU, so it was LSU all the way for me. But I had a few mentors too. My Uncle Trav, he played at linebacker over here. He was my coach in high school, so I just always talk with him, get feedback on how to do stuff, and he taught me how to become a man too. He wasn't only just my coach. He was, a mentor in my life that really taught me how to be a man, on and off the field, and a champion, and just in life in general, and a man of my word too. So he kind of introduced me to be a man of God as well. So my mom, my backbone, she sacrificed each and every day for me. So it's only right that I pay her back, and not that I need to pay her back, but I feel like in my heart, all the things that she did for me, I owe her my life. So and my oldest brother, he went through this whole process too. We talk each and every day about stuff too. So he one of my mentors, and my stepdad was a big part of the process as well. So I had a few people to lean on, in times of need.
That's a good support system is always great. It's what helps people grow and reach their potential. You mentioned your uncle though playing for LSU. That's fire. I didn't know that. When did he play?
Ooh.
On the spot, huh?
I think he played 1999 to 2003.
Okay.
If I'm not, I could be wrong. I was young, so I don't I never really looked into the history, you know, of when they played. But my cousin is also Kevin Falk too, so it's kind of
that's fire.
Yeah, it
So
runs
how
in
is
the
that?
family for sure.
How was that like growing up with football greats? Like how? I mean, you not necessarily like by fate tied to football, but man, Kevin Falk in your family.
Yeah, I know.
And LSU.
It's fire to see. To watch, I was young, but you know I still watch highlights of them, you know, playing. But it's a huge advantage because they've been through the path that I'm on right now. So kind of looking up to them, continuing their legacy. That's big in my life. So I mean, it's just been a blessing to have them, you know, being a part of my life.
For sure. So kind of switch gears, not too much though, we're still talking about football, but I want to kind of dig deep into your mind a little bit. I like this question. I've asked a couple people this one. If you had to pick any NFL athlete, it could be present, it could be past, it could be future. What would your comparison be? Who's your NFL player comparison? Who's Sage Ryan like?
That's a great question. That's a tough one. That's a real tough
It's
one.
a thinker, bro. It's a thinker.
I like Tyrann Mathieu game. I ain't gonna lie.
Honey Badger.
I like his story. I like, you know, I like the way he do things. I feel like he plays to, you know, a standard, different standard than everybody. And he's not the biggest, he's not the fastest, he's not the strongest for sure. But the way he plays, the swagger that he plays with, that's kind of who I want to compare my game to or lean my game into. I like how he's versatile. He can play multiple positions. And yeah, I like the way he do things.
That's a good comparison. I like talking about multiple positions. You know, you're very, very, I wouldn't say well versed in that, but you know, you're experiencing that. You're kind of in a similar path. I think, especially with Tyrann Mathieu being able to implement himself at LSU now, being so close to the Saints. And by the way, shout out Honey Badger. He's signing a 2-year extension with the Saints, so he's getting that bag. What do you think about the way that he's been able to kind of connect with y'all? And you know, how's that been to have him in the doors the last couple of
He came speak to us like at the beginning of it was this season he came speak to us?
I think it was
last season. So to have him, you know, as a mentor or as somebody that you look up to, you know, Tyrann Mathieu's name is, you know, rings bells around Louisiana. So to have him, you know, walking through the doors and kind of giving us advice and letting us know his story, that, you know, that's huge for us. To be able to talk to, you know, a person like that, it means a lot to us as players. And just, how can I say this? It's just a blessing to have him, you know, around and showing love and support to his team, you know, his past team. So, cause a lot of people don't come and give back and come through the door. So to see that he's still humble enough to, you know, support us and love on us and tell us his story, that means a lot.
Yeah, he's a really cool dude. I like the Heart of a Badger camp he does. He does one in New Orleans, like gets a bunch of kids doing football camp stuff, brings Saints players over. They had Alontae Taylor this year. He's a cool dude. It's always cool to see the Honey Badger in and around the community. Like you said, good role model. And man, does that name ring bells? Holy hell. Bells ringing so loud I get tinnitus. My ears ringing for months. That's how many bells this dude rings. But NFL draft around the corner. We're about that time. We got pro day, combine just happened. What do you think about the NFL draft process? What's that like through the eyes of somebody who's going to go through that? What do you think? What do you see? What does that feel like? What's your plan? Like,
so,
talk about that.
You know, I played a game with Malik. That's one of my close friends, and just to hear him talk about the grind that they have to do each and every day, the process that goes on, like when nobody is looking, because they gotta work in the dark. And I mean, sometimes it gets hard working out 3 times a day, and it's just you. I mean, working out. So it's nobody to come help you. It's like you grinding on your own. But when them lights come on and you run that 4-3, 4-2, I mean, just to see the results that, you know, all those NFL guys have had, and it's been a fast NFL draft. Those guys been rolling, so that gives me motivation, you know, when I decide to leave for the draft, just to put your head down and continue to work in the dark, and those results they gonna come to light. But I respect those guys for, you know, doing that 2-month workout routine, because sometimes it get lonely. That's why I get lonely at the top, because I mean, hard work definitely, you know, speaks for itself.
When it gets lonely at the top as an athlete and stuff like that, what do you lean on? What do you do?
God is definitely, when it gets lonely for me, God is definitely like my number one source. Just getting closer to Him, closer in His Word, and just using my platform to, you know, to bring Him to light, and bring more people to Him. So that's what I like to do. And I lean on my family members. My mom, she always there to, you know, help and support me. You know, it always a good support system is always needed, like when you feel like that. So
You talked about Malik. You got any other like connections in the NFL? What's that like, seeing people you played with, people you're friends with, get to that next level? Like, you get a little bit of motivation off that. You get a little bit of like, hell yeah, I see them doing it. I'm doing that too.
Yeah, especially like, you know, Malik, one of the guys, you know, that I talk to on a daily. His story, not too many people know his story and how he grew up and where he come from. So, dude didn't even play, you know, high school as a senior, so he didn't really have no film from his senior year, and for him to put his head down and grind and get through all the trials and tribulations that he had to get through, and now he's about to be a top 5, top 10 pick. That's really motivation to me. And I never been the one to hate on nobody success. I'm always cheering on for the next guy. So I feel like, you know, when you cheer on for your teammates, I mean, that is gonna come right back to you. And guys like BT, Jaden, them they work for what they got. So the work is, the proof is in the pudding. They put their head down and work, and they had successful seasons. So that's what I'm looking forward to do.
100%. I think what you said, proof is in the pudding, that's a good analogy. That's exactly the way that this goes. And I think, you know, the working in the dark, or like, you know, putting in the work behind closed doors, nobody giving you the praise, that's the story of your life, I think, right there. That's true. That's true. But what's it like playing at LSU? Take me through your pregame routine. It's Saturday, you're going to Death Valley. How do you maybe calm down? How do you tap in? How do you get focused? It's a lot of distractions, I think. You know, it's a spectacle. You got so much traffic. You got so much tailgating. You got music, this, that, the other. How you bring yourself in?
So, Friday night, Friday, because we start our days kind of not early, but in the afternoon. So I try to get there early, get all my stuff packed up, clothes that I'm gonna be wearing, shoes and stuff like that, what I'm gonna bring to, you know, the hotel. Get my mind in that mode. Like Coach Kelly like to say, turn that switch from, how does he say it? Turn that switch from preparation into game day reality. So I try to do that, flip the switch, because, you know, Saturday is either early game or a late night game in Death Valley or wherever we play. So definitely try to do things early, get in that mode, try to get some good food in my body, some good, you know, nutrients, drink a lot of water, get some good tunes in, and on Saturday, you know, I just let all my preparation, you know, go on display. You know, pressure is a privilege. So whatever pressure I guess that I have, before the game, and I just be thankful that I'm even in that situation to play, with my brother. So that's just really it. I mean, it's amazing playing in Death Valley. Crowd be wild. I mean, you don't really hear it because you locked in, but when that crowd start rocking, it's the best feeling in the world, especially, when you winning, for sure. But I just, I just try to take a deep breath with, everything that's going on. Because, like you said, it's a lot of distractions. It's a lot of distractions. So I block them out, or whoever, all the naysayers, so that I can, play my best brand of football.
So, I do got a question. You mentioned it's quiet. 100,000 people screaming. You could kind of tune it out.
Yeah, you could tune it out.
That's a good skill, bro.
Some football, if you ask a lot of football players, they say they wouldn't hear it because it's it's loud. You feel it. You can feel it more than you hear it. I feel like you feel like you jittery. It's 4th and 1. You got to get a stop. The crowd rocking. You can feel it. You can hear it also. But when you locked in and your eyes on your work and you keyed in, you don't really. It's really nothing.
It's like you tuning out.
Yeah, it's like you tune it out. It's there. You can feel it and stuff. But I mean, you can't hear it. I can't really explain it. It's only if you dare and you got that helmet on. I mean, it's a wonderful feeling though.
So when your legs are jittery and you're playing DB, you just gotta trust your body. You're just going through. Damn, I did this a lot. Muscle memory.
Nah, it's more of at the start of the game.
Okay.
When you first get on the field, you gotta kind of fill it out, and then when you hit that ground or you hit somebody or you defend the pass, it's all right, nah, it's time to go. I'm locked in. It don't matter how you feeling, shit. You gotta guard that person. You want them to score. So, it just be a mindset at the end of the day. So,
I got a question. So I heard Richard Sherman say this on the podcast, and I think this is the best definition for the defensive back position. If they were ever to make a football dictionary, this has got to be the definition. So 55 snaps go perfect. Perfect lockdown, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter.
Then that one bad play.
How you get yourself to forget about that? You had a perfect game. You are batting 99%. You're going crazy. And then one slip up, everybody's going to remember it.
Yeah, so you could have a 55 game, perfect, game, play game. And then that one play they score on you. And it's damn, now they really going to be on my ass for real. Because that's the only play they remember. So that's why you gotta be locked in every play. Receivers gonna catch the ball, but they gonna score sometimes. But it's about how you bounce back. It may sound cliche, but you don't want to keep getting scored on or keep getting the ball caught on. It's about that next play. That's what our coaches always teach us. It's not about if they catch the ball on you, it's about how you respond. So, it's bound to happen. You ain't never seen a team in the NFL or college not catch the ball before. It's bound to happen.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, and it's an offensive-oriented game, so I'm pretty sure if a team go perfect without no balls caught, a penalty is going to be called. That's just how it works, so...
Speaking of penalties, I don't know. If you can't talk about it, don't talk about it. I just thought about something. Bro, the clapping penalties this year. The clapping, trying to get people's attention. Or what?
That's so crazy. I did that versus Mizzou. And I didn't even realize I did it. I didn't even realize.
It looked like you were looking the whole other way. You were trying to get somebody's attention.
Yeah, I was trying to get somebody's attention. It was rocking. The crowd was rocking. And they called a penalty. I'm like, Coach Kelly, he got on my tail. He what the F are you clapping for? I'm like, I didn't even know I was clapping. I was trying to get somebody's attention. And sure enough, I was clapping, and the ref was looking at me, and he called. I'm like, bro, what a call!
Get rid of that.
And they in the red zone, about to score. They got 5 extra yards or something for I don't know what they call it, not taunting.
It was
unsportsmanlike, maybe
something. It was something
weird call.
I ain't never
probably
heard of it
that they
before.
made up.
I ain't never heard of it, and it happened again. There was 2 different times it happened on defense, and I'm like, bro,
It happened in like multiple games though. I don't understand that penalty because like if it's, I mean, how you gonna, you can't communicate. Like how you gonna like? I get it. I get it affects the cadence of the quarterback and maybe like, you know, cause a O-lineman a false start, but like they not worried about. They not really.
And look how far you playing away from the center. Like if you want the trenches, if you're a lineman doing that, all right, I get it. Maybe a little bit. I give you a little bit of understanding, but I don't think that you were in a spot where you could be considered distracted. But that's just me. That's just me.
It be like that sometimes.
Just gotta take it. Just gotta take it and move on.
I mean, you can't tell him not to call it. I mean, he gonna call it if you want to call it. So it just be like that.
So everybody, of course, saw the defensive staff, you know, get changed. You see Blake Baker come in. You see Corey Raymond, Bo Davis. But the Corey Raymond hire stuck out to me. I was like, okay, you know, DBU. Everybody says that he could be a very, very pivotal reason as to how LSU got to that point, whether it be recruiting, coaching, development, what have you. What have you seen from Coach Corey Raymond so far? How has he connected with you, the team, and just that whole, you know, hiring process? How has that been, and what kind of coach is Corey for you and for the team?
Coach Raymond, he he don't play. I ain't gonna lie. He mean business for sure. He's definitely a different guy off the field than he is on the field. I'd say that. He don't take no BS. But that's expected though. He's a technician about what he do. He wants everything, you know, perfect. So he's a perfectionist for sure. Teaches great technique. He's a good leader. He'll give you an example of what he wants you to do before you do it. So and you can have a perfect rep. He gonna find something. He gonna find something to critique you about for sure. It's no such thing as perfect to him. And that's why he's one of the best in the business.
I agree.
The way he carries himself, you know, he's just a great coach. I can't really explain like to y'all of how he coaches us because it might involve a little, you know, vulgar language, but a
little extra added motivation.
But yeah, he a great coach, great leader on and off the field, great recruiter, of course. And he knows how to coach the greats for sure. He knows how to build you into a great DB. And I guess that's Corey Raymond. I probably missed a lot, but that's the basics of what I can tell y'all and what I can't. But
did a good job. Did a good job. What about Blake Baker? What about him and his impact? How you think he's going to be able to, you know, help this defense?
Coach Baker, he brings good vibes every day. He a great leader, great coach as well. I'm not with him personally because, you know, he with the linebackers. But when we meet together, he always brings good vibes and gets his point across. He may crack a few jokes. And he's definitely like, he's a people's person for sure. He loves on us, you know, and he knows how to get on us too. But he definitely wants us to be great and on and off the field. He cares about us. You can tell he cares about us, and we gonna do phenomenal things under him this year.
When I was looking at Blake Baker, and I mean even before the hiring process, when I was looking at potential candidates, the thing that stuck out to me the most is the LA Tech little skit where he went, you know, their defense was 4th in the NCAA in sacks. Then you got Jalen Ferguson leading the NCAA in sacks all time. Even someone like Amik Robertson, pretty cool to watch develop into the player he's been. And, you know, take it back to LSU, Damone Clark, starting on the Cowboys right now.
Yeah.
I think LSU is shifting into this point where, like, you could consider them DBU, of course. You can consider them wide receiver U. You can consider them a lot. But developmental U, I think, is something that they're definitely trending towards. Like, especially because if you look at guys like Joe Burrow, Jay Daniels, not necessarily passed on in Jaden's instance, but, you know, kind of refreshed his career, kind of took a leap, took a chance, went to LSU, and the coaching staff was there to deliver. So I think Blake Baker, his staff, what he's been able to develop, it's going to only be positive things for the defense. Sky's the limit. I agree. I think that this is going to be something to keep an eye on if you're a college football fan, not just an LSU fan. Of course, LSU fans are going to be like, oh, what's the defense doing? Who's doing this? Who's doing that? You know, they're going to be up that creek. But I think in college football in general, this defense is going to have one of the coolest stories. I think because, you know, everybody last year is wondering what's going on. You know, there's a couple mishaps. There's a couple things that people, I wouldn't say, like, for instance, the fans wanted to see some younger guys get on the field, like maybe a Deshaun Womack or maybe a Whit Weeks, and at times that they weren't able to get there, whether it be an experience, whether it be an injury, whether it be whatever, scheme, situation, matchups. I think this year the fans kind of not necessarily need to dial it back, but like for Harold Perkins' situation, you see that they're going to change him to inside. Everybody overreacts. Everybody's automatically like, well, why? Why is he not always going to the quarterback? Why is he not always going to sack? Harold Perkins is in a developmental year. Needs to go to the NFL. He's about to be, you know, getting draft ready. I think if you put him in a situation where he hits his potential, he diagnoses coverage, you know, you put him in a couple different schemes that he wasn't necessarily comfortable in, you get to see what type of player he is. Like maybe there's more to a player beyond the surface when you're able to throw them out into different areas.
Facts. I'll say Aaron Anderson. I feel like he's grown into the player that he wants to be. He already had the tools, the quickness, the speed, so just him learning the game more, he'll be a key factor for us on offense for sure. And, you know, of course I guard him in the slot. He gives me, you know, good work each and every day, helps me become a better player. So I respect him for that, for going hard each and every day.
Talked a little bit with a friend of the show, G Sports. Shout out G. He mentioned about Aaron Anderson and how people, you know, don't really know much about him. He's a highly touted recruit from Ennicor, goes to Alabama, transfers back over. You see last year Nick Saban kind of poked some fun at him on the center field. I think, though, for a comment from Nick Saban like that, that just goes to show you the respect that he has for a player like that and the potential that a player like that has been sent back from injury and unfortunate circumstances. But I think this could be his year. You know, everybody's got the attentions on Kyron Lacey. I've said I think Chris Hilton is going to be a pretty good wide receiver as well. But I think Aaron Anderson, that's a huge part of this wheel for Cortez Hankton, Joe Sloan, Brian Kelly. And I think those are the guys to be able to, you know, create some concoctions for Nussmeier and try to tailor that offense towards them. Next season is definitely going to be interesting for sure. I think, you know, 12-man playoff, LSU finishing this year around 12. So I think 12-man playoff, we could walk right into that every single year. How you feeling about it?
Yeah, we was close last year. So for that to, you know, for it to be a new rule that it's a 12-man playoff, we definitely gonna stick our head in there this year. And that'll be good for, you know, everybody. I feel like it should have been like that, but you know, I don't make the rules. I feel like it should have been like that, you know, to give other teams an opportunity, you know, that may slipped up at least once or twice, lost 2 games, but they're actually, you know, better than the 1-loss game because of schedule, a strength of schedule. So that'll show who really is good and who's really not good.
Exactly, and I like that and this might be controversial. I might say something that people might get upset about, but that, you know, unfortunately, it's probably one of my favorite things to do on this show. I think that having just conference champions would be stupid. I think having just like, all right, let's have 4 conferences or now 12 conferences, every single champion goes in. No, I think that a runner-up should get a chance because let's take Alabama and Georgia, for instance. You got Alabama winning the SEC title. Georgia never gets in. They don't burn that, you know, back-to-back stretch or whatever. I think that a conference championship isn't always like, it's great, it's good. I'd love an SEC title. This year, you know, if we get one, I'd be hype as hell. I'm not trying to take anything away from it. All I'm saying is, how do I put this without pissing people off? All I'm saying is, I feel like that's a right place, right time award. I feel like that's look at us against Georgia. You got Jaden Daniels hurt. He's banged up, ankles rolled. He has to go out. And then Nussmeier comes in, throws 300, and it's like about a, 20-point game? Let's say that LSU and Georgia rematch 2 weeks later when James Daniels' ankle's at 100%, he doesn't get pulled out the game. Still a 20-point game? Probably not. I think that the conference championships, while they could be a determining factor in who the best is in the conference, I think sometimes there are moments where the better team can lose a game. There's times where you don't necessarily have the best team walk out of there. Facts. You make the mistake. They weren't healthy, this, that, the other. I mean, you could even look at Georgia versus Florida State. Everybody's like, oh, Florida State, they had a good run. They're undefeated. Look at them. They need to be represented. And they get blitzed by Georgia. That's a weird situation to be in. You're like, okay, now this is supposed to be the leader of the ACC. They had a little bit of trouble in the ACC title game, and it kind of just spiraled into something that college football fans did not like. When I'm talking about Florida State specifically being left out of the college football playoff. I was watching it, and I'm like, bro, just because they won don't mean they need to be in. That's me, though. I think it's the 4 best teams. If you aren't a conference champion, but you in the best 4 teams, go play. Like, it don't matter what you're doing. I want the best. Like, I want the product. I want the football team that deserves to be there. But there's a lot of things that get in the way with that when you're letting people vote and you're letting it be off opinion and not off of, like, what's actually happening.
Yeah, what's the truth, what's facts.
And I hope that they iron some things out with that in the college football playoff expansion. And, you know, with the rule changes and all of this, I think college football could overtake the NFL in terms of viewership, in terms of excitement, and just like overall fan engagement, because you got the traditions, you know, you got the history. And with the NIL, with the amount of money that the schools can produce and help,
and
you know.
Rigged.
What up?
Huh?
Bruh, you think?
And it ain't rigged. I ain't say that, though.
The Chiefs?
The NFL might be scripted. y'all not fooling me.
The Chiefs got you, huh? You like, nah, bro, it's too good to be true.
It's too good. Patrick Mahomes. Woo.
Taylor Swift, where you at? What if Taylor Swift posted an LSU
I don't know how much Taylor Swift paying the NFL, but might be scripted.
Man, what if they go 3 in a row?
They deserve that, though. They deserve. They won it fair and square, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah.
You think they're gonna go 3 in a row? Bruh.
That'll be tough.
Bruh. Has that ever happened? I don't think that's ever happened.
That never happened.
No, it's the last time a back-to-back champion was like 2000.
Actually. Huh?
The last time we had a back-to-back Super Bowl champion was like 2000 something. We were young as hell.
Yeah. It's hard to go back-to-back. 3 in a row.
Bro, they would literally suck the life out of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. They'd be watching their TV passed out like, oh my God, please, no. You know, Bill Belichick already been through that one time, hell, 2 times, because he saw Tom Brady win one. Then he unfortunately lost the job, didn't get hired. I think this could be 3 strikes. Bill Belichick is pissed off.
I'm not gonna talk about no coaches, cause I don't know who going, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's a business decision. I'm gonna make sure that we're making smart business decisions over there.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on to the next one. But
the NFL might. Nah. Nah. I'm sorry, NFL. Y'all not scripted. I'm sorry.
So before we get out of here, I want to talk to you about a couple things. I want to talk to you. First things first. Big news. Everybody talking about it. Everybody and their mama is talking about it. College football coming back, video game wise. College football 25. They say it's not going to be like Madden. I'm interested to see. EA Sports always copy and paste, same game. Yeah. So for them to say that,
they never had a game in a minute though.
You right. So they better
have some stuff where I don't even know. I can play on my meta quest and I'm actually tackling somebody.
That would be. You got the meta quest?
No, I'm just saying though.
You want one?
Shout out meta quest.
You want one?
I mean, I only played the little boxing game and stuff like that. So I'm more of a PS5 guy.
Okay.
I like to have the controller in my hands.
Same. I never. Really
but that'll be a cool experience, you know, to play.
What? That pro era? I never like dabbled in the VR too much, but I want to start getting the MetaQuest. I want to start doing the boxing thing. They got a couple golf games, fishing games, but that pro era, like you actually get it under center with your VR hands and like you throwing and you moving and shit.
It might be fire.
I think it is.
It might be fire.
Now, what like? I wonder how sports streaming is going to change with VR because they're going to be able to put fans like right there in the game. They're probably going to either have to make that like. Not necessarily the price of a ticket, but there ain't no way that attendance stays the same in sports if every single person can VR themselves. I'm personally going to want to go to the sports game, but you know there's plenty of people that love watching from TV, and then they always
That'd
say
be weird.
you could see it better from TV. So like, bruh, you could obviously see it better when it's wrapped around your head in 360. Like
you sitting by the owner of the team.
You sitting on the 50-yard line, you getting ran over. You in there ducking, moving away from people running at you. But so before we get you out of here, real quick, I just want to know. So last year, college football season comes to an end. You made the decision to enter the transfer portal. So what went through that? What went into making that decision? How do you do that? You contact family, you contact coaches, of course, but like, how do you gather yourself for that process? Because nowadays, you enter the portal and everybody on Twitter knows in 5 minutes. And if not even 5 minutes. 5 minutes is late.
5 seconds.
Exactly. Like blink.
Or they probably already got a source, inside source. I don't know how that they posted. Right when you put it in or something, I don't know.
Like, bro, you blink your eye after looking up from the screen. And
damn, I'm trending. So it's that was a tough experience for me. When I put my name in the portal, it was kind of like a bit. It wasn't a business decision, but it was a decision that me and my family, kind of talked about and weighed our options about. But of course I decided, to come back, and I felt like it was the right decision for me, to stay home for I want to save my last year, if I have a good enough season, but and to play with my brothers one more time. I came in with them, and that'll be selfish of me to, to leave and go play for another squad that I'm not even familiar with. And I built relationships over here. I connected with a lot of people, over here and stuff. So, and it was never about the money or anything like that. Like people, people like to say that, oh, he going to the portal or going to another team just for money. Well, obviously I stayed because it wasn't about no money. I just felt like I wanted the respect that I deserved, and that's basically it. I decided to stay home. Felt like it was the best decision for me and my family, just to grind it out that last season, like I said. And I wasn't sure about how the coaching changes and stuff was gonna be, so I like all the possibilities that there were, and I stuck it out to be a Tiger for one more year.
What's that process like entering the portal? How do you do that? Like, explain that for a
fan. You could either go to the compliance at LSU, like the compliance little thing, talk to the guy, put your name in the portal, or you could just do it on the laptop. It's what it's called? It's like the little app that we got. I forgot. Arms. You know what Arms is? Mm-mm. Arms, like where you get the tickets and stuff for the game.
Okay.
But they got a little transfer portal section. Like you could enter your name out, withdraw it if you need to. But it's kind of like you gotta watch a little video and like if you're sure about your decision and stuff like that. But that's basically how it worked. Yeah, it don't take long at all to put your name in the portal. But it's certain periods that you can, certain periods that you can't. Like say if you want to transfer to an SEC school, you got to do it at a certain time. Probably like I think in like the start of February maybe. But they got like the spring where you could do it when the portal opens. It's like certain openings. So that's how it really. I don't know if I explained it good enough, but that's how that worked. You can't transfer it. I don't think you probably can transfer anytime, but probably with consequences. But if you transfer like within the transfer portal openings, you'll be good. Like to go play for another school, unless it's like February, like when you can't. Or you can transfer to another SEC school in February, but after that you can't. That's why like all the fans like on Twitter when Jacoby had entered his name, but he can't transfer again to SEC school because he'd be eligible. So
I did see that.
unless I mean somebody may, I don't know. I think you gotta, I don't know, but that's basically that.
I appreciate it. Anything else you want to say before we end this off?
To all you fans, stop hating. Y'all don't even be knowing what be going on for real. So, oh, and I'm gonna prove all y'all wrong too. So don't be riding the bandwagon when I'm having a good season. Or don't be riding the bandwagon when we got a top defense in the country. Y'all don't come on no bandwagon. But I love y'all. But it's a love-hate relationship with y'all. So I appreciate y'all, watching the game, supporting us. But it be the ones that be sneak dissing under the comments. I be seeing. I don't say nothing, but I be seeing. So yeah, y'all enjoy your day.
We watch him. Appreciate you, Sage. Appreciate you coming in, bro.
No problem.
It's been real.